Hello and welcome to today's stream. My name's ArbieG and today we're back with the Gr.4 Sprint series, Tuesday Gr.4 Sprint series. We're into round 5 and I'm joined by the lovely Denchurion, or as I like to call him, Alistair, because that's his name. How you doing now? All good?
Yeah, not bad. Excited to be back. Took a week off last week, didn't we? And
yeah. Well, everyone was off doing GT Fusion, which is like the World Championship team event. So the team, the Amigos Racing Team, a lot of the races, one of the ones you basically see with the ART underscore, and not all of them, but a lot of them with the ART underscore in front of the name are team races. So they took part in a team event. So that's why the leagues were suspended for a week. So we're back at it now.
I missed my dose of racing on a Tuesday evening. So excited to get back in it and watch some nice, exciting race.
So you're very much joined by your, what I'd see is as very much the B team when it comes to the commentary stream. I think the guy who does the Saturday night streams, I think his name's ArbieG, much more professional and much more on point, and his one-liners seem to zing a lot more as well. So we are very much the B team here, covering off your Tuesday nights for your racing. So I'm proud to be that B team.
Saturday afternoons Premier League, Tuesday nights Champions League. I mean, which one's higher?
Yeah, exactly. Nail on the head. So today we are at Autopolis Shore, actually a track I'm really familiar with because I literally just raced there last night in the Mazda Beginners. Really fun season happening out, unfolding there. Not in so much fast-paced cars as these, but really fun to whip around. Quite a short course for today, as you can see, 1 minute 10 being the fastest lap. So short course today. Kind of half of a track where you kind of do half the track and they kind of cut it off and make you turn right, as we can see we'll do here, and just come back round to the home straight. So, and Will's a Tokyo drifted that one, so grats to Will.
Looks like he needs to have a break.
Oh mate, C, we might even be the C team, mate, come to think of it, because actually there's a couple of other guys who started doing a commentary and one of them's really good at like impressions and stuff, so like we don't even have that in our tool belt.
I mean, if there's one thing I'm known for, it's my one-liners and my accurate impressions of anything.
Let's have a look at the standings anyway in the championship. Couldn't even bother to do the normal graphics. Look at that. I'm getting really lazy now. So we've got Mohammed leaving out. He's actually got 5 fastest laps with 321 points, so really establishing a strong lead at the top. But obviously with so many races taking place each round, could still turn around if he has a couple of bad results. Oscar Zero, second place, great consistency from him. Always find himself in that top bracket. Not really topping out many races, but still doing really well. Asimo in third, 266. We've got Lango, then followed by Brett, Tom, Elite, followed by Langster, Fraser, then Ilzy, Arbie, Will, DeJovis, Legion, then Rapid, then Seth. So that's the standings as they stand. Now, the standings as they stand, I think that's a way that people can talk.
They wouldn't be sitting.
Absolutely. Like I said, very much your C team here in the commentary box.
Happy 2000, so you know what you get with me, but only you do, no one else does.
This week on Gr.4 Sprints, what are your top 5 kinds of wheat, you know?
Oh, barley.
Oh, yeah, that's a good week. I feel like we've had this conversation before. That's really bad. I think we've had this conversation even in commentary before, and that makes me appalled. We've brought up wheat twice. So, either that we could do the entire commentary in a Cornish accent, which I know you're renowned for yours.
I like we're making a lot of in jokes here.
So Will's just coming around the corner now. He's coming up to the next turn. He's going to make a left-hander now. I think we could do this. I mean,
you can do it.
No, I think I'm alright. I think making a bit of a mockery of the competition, which I'm sure will be exciting to see. Just trying to pass the time until we start the qualifier, which should be in the next minute or so.
I mean, you've got some people with their impersonations and some people with their one-liners. We're just professional.
Yeah, exactly. We are clear-cut, absolute sports commentator pros.
I mean, we know the terminology and everything.
Exactly. Such as brum brum and go fast.
The old shake and bake wagon.
Digi at the moment, he's on a go fast. That's the purple. He drive car well.
He's on a bit of a Barney at the moment.
Digi, spent a lot of time chatting with Digi in party chats. Nice chat.
The sprint races.
No, he's very fast actually. Raced against him last week in a special event we did, which was the Viper versus Corvettes 20 laps at Suzuka. We did that last week, and he won that race. Really good at saving tyres and stuff like that. But these races, these sprints, really doesn't come down to that. As Oscar just cutting a bit of grass there, doing the groundskeeper's job. I assume it's not a groundskeeper. I assume it's a different, more formal race title.
Landscaper. Track landscaper. That probably sounds about right.
Yeah.
Is it?
A circuit guy.
That's electricians.
Exactly, circuit guy. So, anyone in chat, feel free to speak up, say hello. Don't feel compelled to, but nice to engage with other people other than Al, because prolonged exposure to Al can result in a bit of radiation. That's fine.
Yeah, I do come with a health warning.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a couple of names that are new to me here. Chubbs and who are we on digital? There we go.
Digi.
I have come across digital before.
Digi's quick. Digi's very quick, but he's very good at tyre saving stuff, and these races don't come that. And Chubb's doing a little spin there. Beautiful stuff. Just like some of the GT trailers normally involve someone spinning out, and that's what that looked like. So well done to him. Tom, we see Tom on a regular basis, a consistent driver. Definitely finishes in the mid pack on a regular basis. Nice to see him out there again, turning in. These guys chilling in the pits, not really much to see, so we'll talk about them when they come out. We've got again Dieter in the chat. Hey, how's it going, man? He's again Team Brett, hashtag Team Brett. Hopefully he's getting a better connection this time. Had a bit of a poor connection last time, and it does make everyone around him a little bit nervy. It's not his fault. It's not really anyone's fault in particular. It's probably a bit of a region-based thing, but yeah, obviously it can make it a bit sweaty for everyone else on track. Brett has gone win. I don't know if that was done, if it was done correctly, but I did it. A few more people spinning on track. Looks like they're doing it, and looks like we're away on our qualifier today. So we haven't actually done race predictions or anything today, Al. Any race predictions you want to throw out there early? Have we seen Mohammed yet? Actually, haven't seen him out.
We have.
I believe he's out there. Actually, he's definitely turned in for today. I'm sure of that.
No, I was going to say, if he's out there, then you're going to have to put your money on Mohammed.
Is there anybody out there?
Like he's Mr. Consistency, but I mean, there's
meanwhile, on the opposite side of the coin, Elite Digits here, Mr. Inconsistency, which I love watching him race, and I really want to see him like pull it off, because he's a good racer.
But is he inconsistent, or is he really consistent at being inconsistent?
Ooh, I like that.
Because you can almost guarantee it that he'll like
a little bit of trading paint there between Chubbs and Simo, enjoying the moment.
But yeah, I mean, like in terms of race predictions, you got to put your money on Mohammed. He's unstoppable when it's just consistency. Will as well.
You know, he's certainly turned a few heads since he joined the series. I think he started from about round 3, I think.
Yeah, I mean, definitely he's had a couple of strong weeks, which will put him up there. I mean, you put your money forward for digital by saying he's a fast racer. So I think. I'd
like to see Digi do well, but ultimately, whether or not he'll be out there at the top will be hard to say. Maybe he's been really, from what I've seen, he's really improved recently, but we'll wait and see what happens when we come round now into the fast laps. And I'll tell you what, speaking of Digi, we'll go on board Digi for the first lap. These laps are quite short, so we should be able to stick with people for kind of the majority of their lap. So we'll go on board with Digi.
I can only put my guesses in for the first and third race. The second one has to be seen from the first race. I have to see who's lining up at front, because it's normally one of those lot.
I'm going for a Mohammed win and a Lancaster win, and I'm going for my wild horse of the day is going to be Oscar Zero. Not for a win, but for a surprising top 3 finish.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with your Mohammed prediction. I'm definitely having him for at least one race, if not 2.
Yeah.
Lancaster's always a good shout. Him and Will, I'm expecting to podium at some point today.
People are just coming over the lines now, so sorry to interrupt you. We're just going to check out these first quali times as they come through, then we'll come back to Al, find out what his predictions are. So 1:11 there from Dig. Sorry, still correct, Rob. 1:10 from Lancaster, 1:11.6, 1:11.2, 11.8 from Brett, so really tight times here. 11.3 from Elsie. 10 from 7, so Will taking top spot there. Chubbs with 11.2, so Chubbs with a great finish there. Fraser with a 19.9. Simo with an 11.4, so Fraser looks like he's heading off. Rabbit with an 11.4. And Oscar Zero with an 11 flat. So first, second, third looks like Langster, Oscar Zero, and Will going to jump on board with Langster now. Just sit with him. He's actually sat behind Digi, who finds himself in 7th place. Arbie with 136, so it looks like Arbie's heading off there. Finds himself sitting at the back of the race, and we're going to sit on board now with Langster. So sorry, how you were saying about your predictions there. Sorry, before we come over.
I know it's important to get these times. I mean, yeah, with the short lap, it's going to be all condensed up at the top.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to say Mohammed for 1 and 3 races, because he is just so consistent up there. Race 2, I'll have to make that prediction at the start of the race, but I think my surprise podium, I'm really believing in him this week.
Elite, right? We're going to go on board with Chubbs. Chubbs now is coming round. See how he's running as he comes over the line for his second fast lap. Previous one was 11.2, so she's another 6th place, but at least look how tight it is there. Only slightly behind his first fast lap, and now going out for his second. Fraser coming in improving with a 14.6. Bit of spread out towards the back there, but we'll go on board now with Oscar Zero, who is now coming down the front straight. Previously running 11.4, 11 flats, his best time season in 4th place, so he's got himself a good time there. But we're going to have to see that improve if he's going to hold on to that 4th place. So imagine a few more people yet to put in a good lap, or one that they're pleased with, such as Simo sitting down there. I think Rabbit could do probably a little bit better as well. Tom and Brett as well, definitely sitting down there at the minute, want to find themselves a bit more pace coming through. Langster could probably see himself improving, certainly Mohammed as well. Bit of close traffic though to compete with. Digi improving his time to an 11.3 there. Mohammed coming over the line, again not able to improve. Jump on board with Elite, who's leading the pack out still on his 4th fast lap. Improved last lap with 11.3, so finds him in 7th. Probably himself would want to be a bit further, runs himself purple there. So good time at the moment through that first sector. Now he's into the technical second sector. A lot of throttle control here, tight hairpin. Need to get a late apex through here, or to get on that accelerator nice and early. Elite kind of doesn't quite do that. He kind of hugs that apex. I'm not saying that what I say is the absolute correct thing to do. He obviously knows what he's doing, but certainly I found on this track taking a late apex and early on accelerator builds you a bunch of time on this short course.
What would you be looking for if you were racing in this race? Where would be your attack zones that you would be kind of playing on?
This long straight here on the exit, if you get a better exit out of that turn just there, you've got a nice long bit of track here to get a bit of slip and get past somebody before the next corner, or even on the exit out of turn 1 here, coming out and again just getting a bit of exit speed. This corner can be quite hard to judge. You've got to get the braking right and the speed just right, which you can see there. Elite's run himself wide, easily done on this track. He's now going to run himself off and let people come past, so he's not interrupting with anyone else's lap. No huge changes yet. A few people improving their times and jumping themselves up. Fraser with 11.4, picking up from his early laps where he looks like he might have slipped a little bit, and Rabbit doing 11.3, find himself up there as well. Simo probably a little bit behind again, where you'd kind of expect him to see. Sometimes you see him challenging at that top. You sort of expect to see him in that top 6 area. You see Elite sitting there, just sitting off the apex, letting the traffic come through, not slow anyone down. Good to see the sportsmanship there.
Yeah, what was surprising in these early few laps was Fraser. He seemed to be a bit off the pace until this last lap where he managed to catch up and hit a 1:11. He was sitting around 1:13, 1:14, 1:15, which for him as a quality driver.
Yeah, but Fraser, I was racing with last night actually. Fraser was one of the guys in the Mazdas in the same track we were racing with last night. Certainly very much matched with his pace in terms of myself. Not too far off each other. So me and him have good fights. Langster improving his time there with a 10.7. Doesn't ultimately change anything in terms of the qualifying. Mohammed with you can see how tight the gap is between Mohammed and Oscar Zero. 1/100th of a second between them two.
It's barely anything.
But we're following Mohammed through this one. We've still got a good chunk of his qualifying left, 7 minutes, so still plenty of time, and obviously no tyre wear or fuel to worry about, so it's not a case of getting in and changing tyres and getting a fresh set on. Just keep trying to do the best laps you can. Tom improving there with 11.5. Mohammed making a slight improvement there, again just pulling away that gap between himself and Oscar Zero. Anyone you want to jump on with, Al? You see Al here?
Let's have a look at Elsie.
Elsie? Yeah, we'll jump on board with Elsie. Elsie just coming up now to finish off the second sector, coming around to the last corner. We'll see what his sector's like, see if he's up or down himself. 11.3, good time at the minute. Finds himself 3 temps up on the minute, so still not going to improve on this lap. Going to jump on board, maybe give it a little bit of time, let Rabbit get over the line, but we'll go on, jump on board with Rabbit for a lap.
Will improving his time there by 0.2.
Oh, great! So look, extending that gap at the top. Those ones do count when you extend it at the top, just giving yourself that little bit more room. So Rabbit running himself at 11.5 there. 11.3.5 is the best he's got. He's got close to it on his 5th fast lap, but at the moment lost it a little bit there. That's probably going to see him lose just that little edge of pace that he probably needs to shave off those temps. Although he does find himself a tenth up on his best time, so let's stay on board with Rabbit, see if he can hold this together and make an improvement, because you can see Elsie's only slightly ahead, so if you can shave that temp, he's certainly going to make some sort of gain. He can get through again. Looks like Rabbit's taking that late apex like I was talking about there, trying to hit that curb a bit later on in the corner, meaning that in general it means you can get on the accelerator earlier, which kind of quite a long bit of track afterwards means you're going to get the most benefit out of it. As he comes on now to the final turn, still up, a tenth up. If you can hold it through this last corner and get a good exit out from here, should see him Rabbit put in his best lap and move up a little bit. So Rabbit now comes through with a 1.11 flat, moves up to 8. Great lap there from Rabbit, even gained himself an extra couple of tenths on that last corner, so well done there, Rabbit. Gonna go on board. Let's go on board with Chubbs. I know we went a little bit aboard with him before, but not seen him race much in this series. I know he was sat in reserve, ready for a dropout, so good to see him come and mix it. See a lot of consistency there on his times. Best time at the minute is 1.11 and almost a tenth, about 3/4 of a tenth. Mohammed improving his time there, 1:10.9, but still not enough to change it at the top 3. So Chubb's now off his fast lap. Now he's got himself a penalty. Just grinding that cell down so his next lap counts. We're done, Rabbit Racing. Let's go on board with Lango. I'm trying to get Lango, but I keep flicking to the wrong thing. Lango's just come over half a second down his best. Doesn't look like he's on a fast lap here. Letting Will go through.
And once again, Will has upped his time, 10.3 now.
So Will really holding himself at the top. I don't know if people now just going into pit just to cool off a little bit. Happy with their times, not feeling like they're not able to make an improvement.
No, because we've only got probably about time for maybe 2 if you're just finishing off 3 laps.
Yeah.
I think Will might be quite happy to sit on that 10.3. No one's really getting near it.
I see no harm and keep going, to be honest, until the time is end. Especially, I don't understand if fuel tyres were a factor and your tyres were starting to warn you couldn't possibly reach your time you're trying to get to, but tyre wear not being a factor here, I'll still set out there. So Oscar Zero slightly up on his best here, has got Elite in front of him, but seems like Elite's probably thought he's got a pace to not interrupt this time. Again, everyone taking quite different lines for that hairpin. You can see the different results. Like I said, I've always found my own personal preference get on that late apex. I don't hug too much on the inside on entry, and you can usually gain a lot of time. But like I said, everyone's got their own way through. And looks like Oscar Zero's on 1/10 up. This might see him move across Mohammed if he can just grab a little bit more, maybe use a little slip from Elite here just to edge it up, and he has edged it ever so slightly from Mohammed. Is this going to force Mohammed to come back out, or is he just going to stay? with his 4th place. So interesting. Looking up there. Did call it with Oscar Zero. We know he's got that pace, and he's never not really turned heads in the same way that Will has when he's come in. You know what I mean? Like, you never sort of sit there, but he's been consistent, and that's why he sees himself 3rd in the championship overall.
Well, that's it. It's not in these races. It's not necessarily who's out and out the fastest. I mean, we've seen quite a few races. I think Oliveira comes to mind, who have come out and really shone for a couple of races, but not managed to keep that progression going. Whereas Mohammed and Oscar, they've been consistently in those top areas and have showcased at times, and that's what's got them up there. But they've kept in their places, and yeah, I think Oscar is a name that you know where he's going to be. He sits quite nicely in the group.
So Chubb's run himself a little wide there, just giving Simo a bit of room to go through. Simo might have wanted to slip there, but he's just going through now. So just looking at chat, no hassle saying good luck to everyone. Chubbs has practiced for this event last year, so yeah, I think that really helps for him, I suppose. Brett is going to win. He is a beast man. That's good for him. I'm glad he is. And no hassle has, I think Willie D has the car for today in this track. Well, it looks like it in terms of the times. If you look at that, you know, still good 4 temps up from anyone else. Langster with the 2nd best time. Only got about a minute left in this session. Could see Langster finish off this lap and possibly get one more lap in. I think Langster's in the Corvette car I personally love. I think it's a nice looking car personally.
I reckon being a beast man would help you as a driver.
I mean, a beast man would certainly make you quite heavy-handed, I'd feel.
Yeah, because I mean, I understand it in like sport and like other athletics where being a beast would help you. They can run faster, stronger, jump higher. But
you could turn the wheel harder. I mean, you have to kind of, you know, you have to be, especially in like, you know, high-end elite racing, you have to be certainly athletic and fit. You know, there's a certain aspect to the physical side of it, but certainly not this. So it looks like Lanx is on his last one now. A few people you can see now have come in, just sitting in the pits quite happily with their position. Langster, we're going to sit with Langster with the one being closest to be able to do it, but if he finds himself behind on time through this sector, we'll drop back through and sit with others as they come through, and we finish off the quali. But can't see much changing here. Probably surprise package today. Arbie, 5th position.
Yeah, we saw Arbie in the last race we did or last round doing quite well in one of the races, which
definitely
was impressive. So hopefully he does keep this consistency because he's got it in his locker.
Yeah, fantastic time that is from Arbie. So great to see. It'll be good to see him do well in this race today.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy about this group.
Goes through a bit of swaz. Swaz is definitely a word that they use in racing.
But it's what I enjoy about this group. That you go down the entire list, and anytime one of the racers is up front, it's not a surprise because you know they have it.
Yeah,
they have that ability.
They've got that juice.
Yeah, even when we're seeing Fraser, who's I think currently sitting towards the back.
So no improvement there from Chubbs. Simo's not
when
up.
He's been up there.
Yeah,
like, you go. Oh, we know he's a great racer. It's not a shock that he's up near the front. So it's always a tight group, and that's what makes these things exciting because from 1 to 15, people got it in their locker.
So qualifying's over. So we finished with Will at top, then Langster, then Oscar, then Mohammed, then Arbie, then Elite, and then the rest are a pure mystery. Until we see the cinematic, and then bring up.
Until we get to see it again.
So as I said, we've got Elite in 6th, Chubbs in 7th, Rabbit in 8th, Simo in 9th, Digi in 10th, Lango 11th, Brett 12th, LZ 13th. I think it was Tom in 14th, and then I didn't quite catch, maybe Fraser in 15th.
I think, Fraser was 15th. I think it was Lango in 14th, I believe. No,
Lango was 11th. So we're off. So just going to do that to bring up our display at the bottom. Remember, we've got the replay system afforded to us in this one. So we'll try and see if we can make advantage of that. If we catch our eye on any incidents or naughtiness rolling start today. Give people a little bit of room going through what is quite a treacherous turn 1 here, as we've seen in the practice and the qualies. And Will just leading us out. Langster sitting up behind.
To
come through turn 1.
Some of these precarious turns in this bunched up group will will not end well. So let's hope there's a bit of behaviour.
And looks like the pack's coming through. A bit of spread. Definitely those back runners would have been caught at the hairpin at the start. Fraser run himself a little wide there. Will pulling away a little bit from Lancaster. About half a second he's gained so far. Pushed it up even a little bit more there. But still a lot of this race to go. Lancaster just behind with Oscar Zero not too far away. Mohammed again not too far away from Oscar Zero. So little group bunching up there for second place. Lancaster doesn't want to be under attack too much here, which it looks like Oscar Zero is thinking about there. If anything he has to defend himself on, he's going to lose out to Will, and it's going to be Will's race before the race has even started, which, you know, Will now a second out up top. Certainly looks like Hassel's prediction coming true.
Yeah, so he had the car for it, and he seems to be proving it.
Definitely. So just sitting up still with this little pack at the top. Still got a few tight packs we'll try and keep an eye on. Nice little pack here of Rabid, Simo and Digi. Because it looks like the tightest racing that's going on at the minute is going to be around here.
Yeah, not a lot of movement, which is quite surprising at the moment.
Yeah, the rolling start will definitely play a factor in that, and the fact that obviously we're in the first race, so everyone's sort of ordered by their pace in general. We're going to see going through the races when we start going through the reverse grids and such. Hopefully a bit more action in the first couple of laps, but very respectful, very neat racing here. Everyone keeping it nice and tight. Will slowly edging away in first place. Lancaster still with Oscar within shouting distance of him. Oscar getting a better exit there, for example. Sitting and slipping, getting a bit of time through. Lancaster running himself a 10.6 there. So certainly at pace here. We'll just run through, see how everyone's doing. Digi in 10th place. Simo building up a little gap in front of him, but certainly pulling away a little bit from the pack behind him. Tom Williams looking up the inside there of LZ, looking to take the move. LZ not quite holding it together there, couldn't get himself back on the apex.
Affording line there from Tom.
Yeah, Tom just taking a nice neat line through. And it looks like it's really hurt LZ there because he just didn't get the exit speed as well. It's afforded Fraser to come up and just pinch that position for him. So good opportunistic driving there from Fraser as well. Jump up a little bit. I'm trying to get to this little pack in the middle here, trying to find where that's at. Looks like I've got a little tight pack here. 11th and 12th. Looks like there's a scrap going out here. No changes up top at the minute. Still everyone sitting roughly where they started.
Very, very polite spacing.
Yeah, I know. Like we've had a couple of overtakes as we've seen. Rabid with Simo bearing down on him. Rabid in the Hurricane and Simo in the Aston. Two cars probably couldn't get very much more opposite on the scale. So looks like Simo might have a little bit of slip here on Rabid, but is it enough to make a move? He's Rabid staying on the outside, and it doesn't look like Simo's going to make his move yet. He's going to try and get a better exit. And Rabid's done well to hold that together.
Quite the gap between Rabid and Chubb / Arbie.
Looks like we've got Chubbs
dancing,
trying to look up on that inside of Arbie, but Arbie closing that door really well. Elite sitting in front of this little group, but Arbie having an absolute great race here. Really good to see from him.
Yeah, I think Elite just nicked it from Arbie, so Arbie holding on to that position, trying not to get the double overtake.
Yeah.
But Elite's got a bit of open track in front of him, which should allow him just to push on.
So you've got a really good fight here from Rabid, trying to defend his position but without sort of falling too far behind. Chubbs in a lot in front, so challenging position here for Rabid to be in. Going up now, looking at the top crew. No changes here. A little bit of growth in distances. Will not really going too far out in front, not enough that is certainly his in the bag, but he's certainly got that advantage. Lancaster pulling away a little bit from Oscar Zero. Again, just exactly the same sort of thing, not really out of reach, but certainly in a more comfortable position than we were last here. Mohammed's still in there as well, and it's all kind of quite even space in there at top. Relatively boring racing, guys. Come on, mix it up. Arbie and Chubb still scrapping away here for 6th place. Arbie on that inside line. Oh, sorry, Chubbs on that inside line. Arbie again, just nicking in front, staying in his position. I think Arbie in the Jaguar F-Type there, running a great race. He holds off in 6th place, sat up behind Elite as well, so Elite not able to pull away and certainly wants to make 5th place his own. Looks like Mohammed's pulled up a little bit of ground on Oscar Zero as well. Quite close those two are now.
Yeah, it seems that every time we look back, that top 4 just seem to extend that gap. So there's a bit of a splinter now. Top 4 in their own little group. I think 5th to about 7th are in their own little battle, and kind of 8th all the way down.
Is Mohammed looking for the move here? Probably a little bit out of range. He's got the pace. You can see that time down between him and Oscar Zero, but ultimately, this isn't the turn to make that move. Just go behind, check Arbie and Elite. Chubbs off a little bit. Arbie not getting a great turn through there, and he's gone wide. And I think maybe that little bit of touch from Chubbs might have actually done him a favour and corrected him, but it's afforded Rabid to sit up on him now. And is Rabid going to be able to claim himself? He's actually pulled himself away a little bit from Simo. Good defending there from Rabid. Hurricane, the little temptress she is, her arse likes to kick out like that. Rabid keeping it under control really well, so really good racing we're seeing here. You can see a little bit of a scrap there for 11th place still with between Lango and Brett. A little bit of lag there. You can see Lango dancing around the track. Definitely want to have a look at that, because if I was Brett, I'd be terrified, and maybe that's swings and roundabouts as we saw Brett kind of in a very similar situation the other week. So yeah, it makes me a bit nervy when you see someone like that on track, so hopefully that doesn't develop into anything nasty. Langston really secure in 2nd place of his own, and Will really now securing top of the race, but we're still 3rd position is really up for anyone's. Looks like Mohammed's going to be trying to make the move now as he looks up on the inside of Oscar. Doesn't quite have that speed to get in front as Oscar keeps his position really well. Mohammed's still not done here. Is he going for the better exit here? Is he making his move now as we've only got 2 laps left? He's gone up on that inside. Is Oscar going to close that door to him? Yeah, oh, it's going to be close. I think he's going to keep it. Yeah, he's just keep that. He's just keep that. He's just kept that.
Yeah, it was great racing by both of them. Mohammed went for that overtake on the straight, realised pretty early that he didn't have the pace, so quickly shot himself back into that slipstream. to try and get a bit of pace in the corner, but Oscar just backed himself. It's
not over yet. We've got a couple of tight packs here, so I'm trying to keep abreast of what's going on in both of them. Still like really tight at the back here. A lot of movement going on, but I'm also really interested in this fight for 3rd place as well. Good battle going on. Mohammed really trying to find his way through, but Oscar Zero having absolutely none of it, son.
I mean, we should just rename Mohammed to Limpet, because he's always attached to the driver.
Yeah, exactly. Limpet Biscuit. Oh my god. We are the C-Class team, definitely. Look at the numbers we're pulling.
I think we've just upped ourselves to at least be with that joke.
Yeah. Top draw.
Top draw quality. Loves to sit behind and is very comfortable in this sort of position. Just no applying that pressure.
And again, he's still not able to get that move done. We're just going to sit back with a few of the other guys now as we are coming now towards the end of this race. Only a couple more laps to go. Simo's found himself slipped back a little bit. I didn't actually catch what happened there between with Simo, but he finds himself slipping back. I don't remember him being this far back in 10th, so unfortunate there. And again, I don't want to miss an overtake that's going on here, so if it happens. But Oscar doing some great defensive driving here. We've got still Chubbs actually now pushing on Elite. Haven't seen them chewing the gravel yet. I know, commentator's curse. Mohammed looks like he's getting that move done on Oscar through the turn, but Oscar getting back. This is great racing going on from these two here as Oscar Zero reclaims that position with a little bit superior speed, gets himself back in front again. Mohammed just maybe trying to catch a tiny bit of slip, just sitting slightly on that inside. Maybe can do a bit better braking, but not quite. This is great to see.
It's the battle you want. We know Oscar's a defensive driver and Mohammed's a great attacking driver, so it's basically a great attack but great defense.
Digi's also in a bit of a scrap here with Simo for 9th place as well, so going to keep an eye on that, but we are in the final lap, so we are going to see our guys through, but still trying to keep an eye on this fight at the back. It's hard to pull ourselves away from it, but also want to give credit to Will and Lankster as well, who've kind of pulled themselves away. Still got to look at this train. The back here, back end of the race, really tight stuff. Rabbit in 7th place, holding on. As with Arbie just behind him. Not many more opportunities to overtake here. If you can hold it, Mohammed still barreling down, trying to get that position back, really working for it. You can see it, past 3 or 4 laps. He's been attacking all over the place. Was he a little bit aggressive there? I don't know. Maybe.
It was almost like he was nuzzling back. But
it looks like Will's gone through, Lanx has come through, Oscar and Mohammed's coming through, and it looks like Oscar's got it back. So great race in there.
Back in the end. I mean, that was.
Elite Chubb's carrying a little pen. Is he going to wind that off, or else he might find himself slipping down a little bit? No, he's holding. Look at that for close racing. Didn't even have time to commentate who come over the line there. You guys saw it.
A diamond shape of 6 of them hitting the
A lot of people managed to finish their race. Well done. We'll look at the results obviously when we get through. So look at that. One hell of a race there, guys. Really impressive.
There's not masses of moving, but again, well done to Will for holding.
Well, at the end there, that last lap, and Will with the pole position fastest lap in clean race. You can't. The clean swoop there from Will, so congrats on Will. But let's go and have a quick look at this race result, so we can have a look at the formula. So Will with the win there, Lankster for 2nd place, Ox 0 well defended there at 3rd place. Mohammed unlucky to get that move done, really pushed himself towards us, especially to those last few laps. Elite and Chubbs with 5th and 6th, so congrats to those guys. Rapid making some really good gains there, finds himself in 7th.
Time between Rapid and Digital.
Yeah, Digi just getting ahead of Arbie at the end of the race there, finds himself in 8th. Arbie slipping down to 9th place, but still running what was a really great race from him. Simo in 10th, probably a little bit disappointed where he finished on that race, but ultimately might be a good one to watch in the next race. Lango in 11th place. Brett in
0.02 between Simo and Lango. This is some, some tight
really close between Simo and Lango. Brett slightly behind that as well, half second off from that in 12th, then Tom in 13th. Fraser gaining a little bit, finds himself up in 14th, and Elsie unfortunately in 11th place, finds himself a little bit behind and out there. So yeah, really fun race that one now, especially towards the end. Watching people so close, I mean, you can see how many people swap places at the end. We had a few dips and drops and stuff, and no real big spin outs or anything. We had a couple, we had Arbie lose it a little bit, and we had a little bit here because Elsie had a bit of a bad one there, but looks like people in general kept it. Look how sort of straight those lines are, Really neat race.
For such an exciting close race, there was not that many overtakes.
Boring. That was actually probably one of the best races I've commentated over, but again, come on, guys.
Yeah. I mean, we had 1 and 2 sorted kind of with about half the race left, but I mean, from 3 all the way down to 10th, it was a coin flip. There was under a second between about 6 drivers there, which is unbelievable.
Well, the thing is with this track in particular, this is what we found as well yesterday when we were doing this same track yesterday, that it's a hard track to overtake, a hard track to get past people. Mohammed putting on a bit of a show for us there. I mean,
just as he's doing now, he put on a show for us in the last race, showing us how hard it is to overtake. Mohammed, definitely, I'd call one of the most accomplished overtakers in this group, who just sits behind, waits for his moment, and hits it with such precision. Just couldn't get past Oscar, which again, credit to Oscar for the defensive driving, but it shows, I think, how tricky this course really is.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not how you pit, but I mean,
that's not how you get out on track.
This will be an exciting race on the reverse.
Yeah, definitely. Who are you calling for the win on the reverse grid then? Bearing in mind, roll and start again, and how hard it is to overtake. So
yeah, we've got Elsie and Fraser up front, who when they've been in this position previously have put on an exhibition of driving.
I mean, it's a longer race for a start. It's a 15 lap as opposed to 9 laps, so got a bit of a longer race ahead of us as well. So there is time to pull it up, but I'm not discrediting someone like Simo or someone who probably didn't do so well that race, but first race, but has that pace, because everyone had consistency on that. Race, The
timings and the timings coming through were just so close and as you said, consistent, that 1 through 15 realistically does have a chance in this race, because the gap and the disparity between 1 and 15 wasn't so massive that, well, in this race it will be condensed because it tends to be a bit of a slower race than the second one. But I mean, I think I want Fraser to win it. I don't know if that's where my money is.
Ooh,
I think I want
Fraser for the win. He's kind of turned into my little bit of a rival in the Mazda, so I'll be pleased for him to see him win. It'll be really good to see him win one of these kind of races. And again, like you said, it just takes a consistent race. You know, not much in it. You saw there's not much movement happening between people on that last race. So, providing people could just keep it together and just keep themselves consistent, keep their head down, you know, you should be able to get a good position even if you didn't fare too well in that first race. So, really interesting to see how it unfolds. And
with the battle going on in that middle pack, they're going to be in the exact same position. They're basically just carrying on from where they left off last race. And I can imagine a lot of switching for this race now compared to what we had very consistent and still race last time. But yeah, like you said, someone like Lango or Simo coming through these, because they're sort of sitting around 10th and 11th, they can quite easily get themselves up to the top.
It's going to be a hard one to call, I reckon. Hard one to call, this one.
Where's your money?
Like I said, I think if I was a betting man, I'd go with Simo. I think Simo's got the pace enough to win it and is in reach. I think the guys at the back will do well and ultimately finish in the top half of the race, but I don't think there's enough race here and enough difference in pace for people to do a back to front. I mean, I'll be pleased to be proven wrong. I'll be pleased to see, you know, in a way, to see Will and Mohammed and Langster finish out at the top of the race. And it all kind of depends how those top guys do. If they sort of hold it together and achieve that bit of consistency, they don't need that fantastic pace. They, you know, you can sacrifice that half a second a lap and still actually win this race. Because there's a lot of work those people are going to have to do to overtake.
We've got Brett and Tom up there as well. So, I mean, that's a strong top of the pack. Lango, Simo, Brett, Tom, and I think you've got No Hassle agreeing with Simo.
Arbie as well. We saw as one of the front runners. Has got that pace in terms of individual lap time. Just going to quickly flick the bottom bit back on again. Again, a bit of a GT Sport glitch there. As Elsie gets away to our roll and start today. So good luck to Elsie, good luck to Fraser, good luck to Tom and all those guys at the top there. Be great to see one of them finish out at the top at the end of this race. That's what we hope for from the commentary booth, which isn't a booth, it's just two guys in individual separate rooms.
I mean, mine's a booth.
Is yours a booth? Did you build yourself a booth specifically for this?
It's on a little parapet.
Elsie, Lango, I just saw disappear like a bullet. No, that was the glitch. That was his connection. So did you see that flash across the screen? I thought
I did. I was taking a sip of water at the time.
Looks like,
I drowned myself.
Looks like Tom's dropped off at the moment. A little bit, conceding a little bit of space to Brett. This is kind of what the top two guys want. You kind of want like little battles to appear. Little battles afford you room, a little bit of room that you can then grow and extend and just focus and get your head down rather than have to worry so much about who's immediately behind you.
Yeah. That's what we saw last round in the second race, because usually we do see those back guys climbing through and getting to the middle pack, but last round we had a lot of battling at that back group of the grid, which allowed the front runners.
So it looks like Brett's gone up on Tom and has already made that move. Tom looking for that cut back, getting a better exit. But Brett holding it together well. Lango actually getting a good exit on Tom there as well. So Lango looks like he might be able to get this move done on Tom. This one, he looks like he's going up on the inside, and Simo as well, flying as well in that mix. And Lango, is he going to hold on to that? Get past it. A little bit of side on side there. And a close one here between these two. Lango going on that inside, looks like he's going to hold on to it.
Simo at the back.
Fraser running a little wide there, but holding it together. Elsie holding on to that first place as well. Like I said, they can just, if Lango, oh, looks like Fraser, has he binned it? No, he's just lost a little bit of pace there, but he's held it together. Brett managed to get in front, so losing the position ultimately, but not enough to see him out this race, and kind of is what Elsie wants. Look at that, he's got himself 2 seconds out top now. And let's just have
it does have Brett coming up the rear, which, I mean, as we've seen, Brett can reel in those times.
And like these guys behind, you know, these fast runners, these top runners in the pack have got some real tough people to overtake. So I'm really interested to see how this unfolds. I don't think we're going to see someone a bit different at the top, which is obviously just from a commentary point of view is more exciting to see. Brett coming through now, second place. I think someone called it as well. Brett's a good shout for this race. Fraser, really good to see him hold on in there if you can. A lot of race still ahead to go, but just keep himself consistent, keep himself neat.
Yeah, we've got that top five trying to make themselves their own little units.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Arbie and Tom just kind of almost in a little world of their own, followed by Digital, who's sitting in a little bit of space.
You see a lot of scrapping going on here at the back, and you see that's just making that little gap from Rabbit to Digi, 2.5 seconds. Like I said, those fast guys get in front of Rabbit. They've got a bit of work to do now with just the way the race is developing, the packs are unfolding. Fraser still not far away from Brett. Brett really not secure in that second place, and Ilzy a little bit off the pace as well, finding himself not getting a great exit, and Brett gaining on him a little bit here. Brett finds in the Lambo. Looks like Ilzy in the McGann. So interesting, two very different cars there as well. Fraser running himself wide there, going to hold it together, but again he's going to see himself slip off in pace, and that's going to afford a couple more extra positions to come up. Lango taking that position. Simo probably not enough to get past him straight away, but might have a go through this technical part. Really hard to get an overtake through here unless you're coming out on that hairpin really well, so you kind of just have to go through in single file through here and wait for your chance to overtake her as you get to the last sector of this race. But Fraser still holding on. Elsie losing a little bit more advantage at the top as Brett's sort of homing in on him, and he's got himself again a gap between himself and Lango at the back, who's not out this race specifically as well. I think anyone in this top 5 could still win this race.
Definitely. I mean, I wouldn't even count out Arbie yet. Just I was gonna say Digital, but Tom just overtook him. Yeah, but I think Arbie's just about clinging on in there, so I think anyone in that front 6 could easily win it.
So it looks like Fraser and Simo side by side. Simo on that inside line, Fraser going on the outside. Simo not quite getting the move done there. Fraser losing a little bit of the rear end, but holding it together again. Really is pushing himself here to try and stay in this race. Just wants to make sure he doesn't see himself off, because it will be a shame to see him do that. He's going to lose a lot more. He doesn't just keep his head cool and try and get his focus in, but ultimately still holding it in there.
Yeah, it is something we are used to Fraser to seeing Fraser do.
So little interesting twist here. Mohammed's got himself in front of Rabbit, which is going to give Mohammed maybe a little bit of chance to try and push himself up towards that top pack. But like I said, I'm going to be very surprised to see these guys get up to the top part of this race for.
I'm assuming Elite's had a spin out. He's down 15th.
Well, it's obviously something has happened, unfortunately, for Elite. Season tail off a little bit towards the back, about a second off from the back. But Will, our race leader, still not really made any progress in this race, just kind of staying up with this rear pack. But you kind of single file one by one, trying to get past people, and like I called it, is a real opportunity for these guys at top. Elsy's still holding on to first place, or is he? As Brett is actually gone up on his inside, and it looks like Brett has gone for the overtake and has got that done. Elzy actually getting a little bit of a better exit there. Is he going to try and come back on him? Don't think he's going to be able to get this done, as Brett defends on that inside and looks like he's going to hold that position. So well done for Brett there. Not getting a great turn through there. So again, not completely cleanly out yet.
Considering the few wobbles he has, Fraser has managed to build up a gap between him and Simo again, which is very impressive to see. But it's going to be hard to catch up with Lango now. He's pulling away in third a bit. Yeah,
he's definitely got that pace. It'll be hard for Fraser to push up, but certainly not an insurmountable gap. I think for Fraser, if he can hold on to fourth, he'll be pleased with himself. Simo with Digi and Arbie shaking and baking behind them.
That's always the danger when you get two on their own, sitting in their own little pack, and they start shaking and baking, moving up.
Arbie trying to make that move on Simo at the minute. And has he got that move done? It looks like he has. Fantastic move there from Arbie. Finds himself up in 5th position. And Simo losing out there. Finds himself falling down with Digi. Now making a move on him. Digi going up on that inside. Has he got enough car? Has he got enough room to get in? Get to that apex first. Is Simo going to close the door? Simo's looks like they're holding it still side by side, but we'll have a look, see what happens when they get to the next corner, which we'll see Digi again on that inside. Really close to each other, and Simo again just holding on to that battle that's afforded Arbie to pull away a little bit for 5th.
Yeah, this fight will suit the top 4.
Yeah.
Allow Fraser a bit of breathing room, so hopefully he's not pushing himself too hard to make that little slip.
Elsie slipped off, unfortunately. I don't know if he got just overtaken or just got a bad turn, but it looks like he slipped down to 3rd now. So it sees Brett and Lango topping out our race. Certainly doesn't look like he's giving up the ghost though. And Fraser grinded up on this top back a little bit with Arbie barreling down on him. So Arbie running an absolute great race here. Really seems to really suit him, either this track or car or both. Great to see. Simo losing it a little bit there. Digi, is he able to capitalise? A couple of track penalties there for our naughty boys. Probably a little bit corner cutting there. Has Digi got the room to get this done again? Just looking on that inside, grinding a little bit of penalty off, and it looks like Digi has got that done. A better turn there, sees him move up to 6th place. Still got that penalty to grind down before the end of the race, but he should be able to grind that down naturally for the race. Don't think there's any consideration he needs to do there. Elite finds himself rapid at the back. Unfortunately, he must have had to slip out himself, seeing himself at the back, because he was leading out this little pack of 9. And maybe this might afford some of the faster guys, kind of release them out of their trap and afford them to go up. Mohammed is caught up with Chubbs. Probably going to be looking to get that move done, trying to get as far up as he can for the next race, and for this race obviously. Fraser still holding on to 4th. Arbie really pushing on him now. And at top, Brett still not secure at the top. Lango looking like our dark horse there. I think we've seen Lango win a race before, am I right? Maybe. As we're just now with Brett coming down. Running himself a purple sector there, so Lango getting the move done there on Brett, getting a better exit and just coming out through. Sees himself up in 1st place. It sees Brett drop down to 2nd, so another twist in this story here, Al.
There is, yeah. I've briefly dropped internet.
I thought you disappeared there for a second. I was trying to keep all cool about it and calm and collected, and then I thought I'd try and talk to you again and see if you said anything, and then that would have concluded to me whether your internet was there. So very tactical from me.
Very professional move. I think that moves us up to the B team with that. But yeah, no, I briefly dropped out. A few internet connection issues, but
Arbie looking like he's going to make this move now on Fraser. Looking at that inside, not quite getting it still, and looks like Simo and Digi have really caught up to this little pack now.
But both holding a couple of penalties, so that might be quite telling at the end of it.
I think they'll grind them down naturally. I think between now and the end of the race, I don't think you need to worry about it too much. I think on this track you get a little. There's some tracks where it's really hard to grind down penalties, and some tracks where it's really easy. I think this one looks like they lose it naturally. I think you will see Simo lose it there. There you go. See, Simo's gone in. Digi's will be gone in the next lap naturally through kind of like inefficient braking. So it's crap up here for 1st place still. Brett not giving up the ghost, only 2 tenths behind, and trying to find his way through. Lango in the Aston Martin trying to hold on to 1st position. He was the guy we saw having a little bit of lag there in the race. It looks like he's very much stabilised now, so it'd be good to see if he can hold on to that. This pack is really tightening up here with Digi leading out. Must have got the move done on Chubbs. Fraser unfortunately looks like he's slipped off a little bit. Unfortunately we missed that one. Fraser now seeing himself back in 8th position, so it's really unfortunate to see from Fraser. We're really hoping to see him finish in the top half. Now finds himself in traffic.
These last 5 laps are going to be crucial for that back lot.
And Digi losing out there, a little bit of space, trying to get himself back on, but ultimately now finds himself side on side with Chubbs. A little bit more pace, because he's in the slip, and Chubbs finds himself out of the train a little bit. It's going to see him in that vulnerable spot where he's not getting the benefit of slip. Is he going to hold on to his position? Or is Mohammed going to get the move done? Chubbs getting a little bit of slide. Everyone getting a little bit of on the exit, but looks like everyone's holding on in general. Mohammed not giving up on Digi though.
A nice little overtake from Mohammed on Chubbs. in that last corner. So he's been slowly clawing his way back up.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got a really tight race here in 6th. We're going to keep an eye on this little pack as it envelops. Digi leading it out. Doesn't look like people are going to get past Digi. So, although he's got Mohammed just behind him, so Mohammed, as we know, is very, very fast on this. Where's Will? Will's down at 11. What are you up to, Will? Must be having a tough time trying to get past people. A lot of traffic in front of him. You can see it in front of him there.
Yeah, that's a tough grid to get around. It's impressive that Mohammed's climbed up as far as he has, because that group is condensed. They're fighting, and they're all good drivers. So
definitely.
It's almost like running into a brick wall.
Look at all this in terms of traffic. Really, really tight stuff. We'll try and keep on board with people. Simo's got Arbie right up on him here. Oh, sorry, Simo's right up on Arbie, sorry. Looking on that inside, don't think he's quite have it unless Arbie's going to pin it on the outside here. Yeah, it looks like he did. Caught a little bit too much of the grass, and that's afforded Simo just to nip up, and Arbie's going to lose out a little bit of ground to the marauding pack behind him. Something like old Mad Max this is.
Yeah, you do not want to be looking in your rearview mirror at the moment.
No, exactly.
Mohammed up to 6.
So I made a crown! Oh, Mohammed! Oh my god, we've actually caught a moment for a change live, and Chubbs absolutely danced, and that is really, really unfortunate. We'll go back and check that one out.
It's the first time I've ever seen Mohammed make a mistake.
Yeah, first time I've actually ever seen like a actual incident unfold in front of my eyes. Normally I kind of miss them, so really pleased to see that.
Please from the
please from the from the video point of view. So let's go back and have a look and see what happened there. That was quite a.
Yeah, I was about to say Mohammed got himself in the open ground.
Quite a kerfuffle, yeah. Kind of caught himself there. Chubbs caught the side and obviously caught a little bit of carnage there, a little bit of.
Unfortunately on Chubbs.
Yeah, but unfortunately these things are going to happen, and still got a really, really tight race here. Langston not really made massive gains for this race as well, but Mohammed now obviously dropped off a little bit from all that work he did. Finds himself with the rest of his crew. A lot of argy-bargy here. Will having a little wiggle there in the middle.
But that little wiggle with Fraser is almost boosted him up 2 places. I think he got a little contact, and then he picked up 2 places with Mohammed. So yeah, Will seems to have taken out a couple with him.
Definitely getting a little argy-bargy here, fellas. It's fun to watch, obviously, from our point of view, but must be a few frustrated heads in there at the minute. Kind of still keeping an eye roughly what's going on at top. It's still not really much happening with those top 3, so we're going to stick with this stuff. Stick with the racing. As Digi still leading out this little pack. Will find himself a little bit in ahead as well. Benefit from whatever happened back there. Mohammed looking on Fraser, but certainly not able to get that move done.
I mean, this kerfuffle at the back has really, really benefited those back runners like Will and Lancaster, Oscar and Mohammed. We've seen them rise a couple of places in this chaos.
So we've got some tight packs here. Got Lancaster looking up on Oscar Zero there, and Mohammed looking up on Fraser. So Will still in that pack. Looks like Mohammed and Fraser. Is that Fraser losing a little bit of pace? He's going to lose a couple of positions here, or is he going to hold on to him? Will trying to get on that inside line. Fraser not getting a great, Mohammed not getting a great line out there, and actually finds himself at the back of that. Lancaster looks like he got that move done on Oscar Zero just behind. It's all go here, I'll tell you.
I know this is where it's at. I mean,
looks
up
like
the front seems to be quite nice and solid at the moment.
Brett's making some gains there on Lango by the looks of it. Got a nice little pack here for 3rd place as well. Simo looks like he's got past Arbie at some point. I don't think we caught that one. And now he's looking up LZ as well, see if he can get himself a podium. Thought Simo would be a good bet on this one. Will leading out this pack here. Fraser still holding in there with Mohammed looking to make whatever gain he can, and Langston not behind. So we've got those fast pack runners now very much in the middle of the race, coming into the last lap now. So we've certainly got some fights here as LZ under attack from Simo there. Went on the defensive line, but ultimately hurt him on his exit speed, and Simo's managed to get past and through. We'll just go back and see what's going on here with God knows what's going on with this lot. Fraser.
I can't remember who sits where at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got Will and Lancaster now swapping positions at will.
Yeah. Fraser and Langster watching swapping position. Well, yeah,
Mohammed
as well. Mohammed as well, kind of not pulling out from this pack in the way that he'd probably like as well. Find himself tied up in this again, losing a little bit of his rear end there, but holding position. Fraser finds himself down in 9th. Let's go up with these guys at the top now as we come round to the end of the race. With
Simmer's been very patient.
Yeah, waited for his moment. Lango, congrats to Lango there on the win. Well raced and well fought, and Brett as well. Great second position. LZ and Arbie pretty close at the end there, but LZ obviously holding on, so well done from LZ there. Will doing well, capitalising on a lot of chaos there, and see a lot of movement going on here. Fraser, oh god, why did it swap view there? That's really annoying. Hoping to see that one over. Very unhelpful GT Sport to change that view like that. Looks like Elite is our man rolling over the line last.
Yeah.
15th.
Well, had a bit of a slip there.
Ooh.
That was
a race.
Quite chaotic.
Certainly was a race, Al.
It was. I mean, well done to Lango. I mean, I'd like to point out I did mention him slightly at the beginning as a threat. But yeah, he's came from like that middle of that pack and really showed himself off. But I mean, good race by that.
Yeah, definitely.
Arbie, LZ, Lango, Simo.
Definitely some interesting stuff there. Yeah.
It's a good driving from those guys who hit the middle pack through all that chaos towards the end. So stuff like Will and Lancaster, they really saw their opportunity when all hell broke loose at the top there, and benefited quite well.
Someone threw a grenade into that, and kind of we saw a lot of contact, and ultimately I think it was Chubbs who really got hurt by that. So not nice to see. It's not nice to see. But obviously more entertaining for us as a team, as a group of people to watch, but I'm sure there would have been a few frustrated heads at the end of that race.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there would be. I mean, it's like for someone like Chubbs, I'd be furious.
Steaming, would you be steaming now?
I would be absolutely steaming.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put a ham in me and get some nice steamed hams.
Exactly. B rated commentary team here.
Yeah, I mean, you do everything right and you get clipped by someone else slipping out, and that throws your whole race, but only seems to throw you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things. It's unfortunate.
So one more race to go, shorter race this time.
Yeah, this would be very interesting. How the grid lines up, because we've got a good mix, which I think is how the third race should end up. A nice mix of the pack.
Is there enough race here for those mid-pack guys who are, the ones we know who've got a little edge on speed? Is there enough race here for these guys to get up to the top again? And how unprofessional of me. Should mute my phone. But do they have enough pace to be able to sneak up and get a win this time, such as Will and Mohammed or Langster, or do you think there's not enough in it? 12 laps, so a little bit shorter than last time, a little bit longer than the first one.
No, there's definitely opportunity. There's definitely the opportunity for them to catch up, because I mean we saw it in this race that they did build up some of the places, but again in the first race there was barely any movement. So there's the opportunity for them to, I'd say, to start challenging. It depends how the front pack sets out. It depends what goes on in the middle, how much chaos there is there, which there seemed to be a lot of in both races. But yeah, I think some of your faster front runners, I think, might start to take away with it. Kind of looking at Simo and Lango and Brett, those three, the top three in the last race, they're good middle of the pack runners in pretty much every other race I've seen. So for them, I think eyes will be on them, and that'll be a difficult one to take. But if Mohammed, if Lancaster can break away early, can get a couple of overtakes, then it's theirs. I think that's all it will take. Just one or two overtakes in those first couple of laps, and I think they can start to make moves.
So we've got Lango, Brett, Simo, LZ, Arbie, Will, Langster, Mohammed, Oscar, Fraser, Chubbs, Tom, Ravid, Digi, and Elite. So like we said, interesting to see how this one will unfold. I think Will's in for a good shout for another win here if he can play this right, being the front runner of the faster drivers, if you will.
Possibly, but he's got three very difficult overtakes with Arbie, LZ, and Simo in front of him. So it's going to be, I think that's, if he can get past Arbie and LZ quickly.
He's got to be a sneaky little sausage, really, isn't he?
Yeah, because Arbie and LZ are great defensive drivers. They're used to these battles. And Simo knows how to be patient and work his lines. So I think if Will can sit behind Simo for enough of this race, there'll be one chance for him to overtake and then start pushing for those top 2.
I don't think it's too late to count out Lango holding on to this as well.
Oh yeah, I mean the front 3 you can easily see winning.
Yeah,
Lango, Brett, and Simo, they are great drivers who know.
I'd be surprised to see Brett win just with the conditions as they are. Couldn't see him catching Lango, and I could see him being taken by Simo at some point, and possibly Simo being able to get push on it. But I wouldn't. I think Brett is very quick. I'm not saying he's not. It's just from that all last race, he just couldn't pull that gap back on Lango as well. And I don't see how that's going to change, other than Lango making a mistake, which doesn't make many of them.
That's true. But we saw Mohammed making mistakes, so we've seen that people can bleed here. And
cut them, they bleed.
and Brett is. He's shown in these last 2 races he's a very consistent and driver who can just sit and be patient, very much like Simo. So
we've had enough, unfortunately. We'll try and catch that. I think I pressed the replay marker. We'll see if we get that. It looks like it was Tom. Let's go back and see if we can catch what happened there from Tom. So it looks like he was in 12th position, driving on through, and just looks like he just kind of caught a little bit of the grass there and ultimately plummeted into the wall. So that's really unfortunate to see happen to him there. As we come back to the race now, and we're back up with Lango, still holding on to that first place. Relatively. Will's made out early moves. Yeah, both taking out Arbie and LZ early in this race.
So I mean, he's been listening to the commentary. He's done exactly what I've suggested he does if he wants to win. He's taken Arbie and LZ out very quickly.
He's been a slippery little willy. That's what he's been.
He has. And yeah, so now all he has to do is push up on Simo. Hopefully these 2 can help shake and bake each other to catch up with those front runners, and then. So
the shake and bake. Can we choose a fry and try?
We can do fry and try.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really fit, but a shake and bake feels very 2016. As Mohammed looks like he's under attack here from LZ. Doesn't look like he's going to give it up that easy, as he's going to make Mohammed take that inside line. Looks like this is the only 2 wide we're going. This one looks like Mohammed's going to get this move done, I think. He's got to the apex first. Is LZ going to get that better exit speed? Doesn't look like he's quite got it. Almost did. Looks like if he got on that apex a little bit tighter, and he would have maybe had that Carl's whip to get on that inside. He's gone for it there, had a little nose up. Oh, and he's just maybe not. And he's done, and it's, oh dear, caught Oscar Zero there. Little aggressive there from LZ on that inside, and obviously you saw that contact and the impact that had on the race as he gets himself back up to speed now in 14th. So yeah, ultimately, bit of a dive bomb there from LZ, a bit unfortunate to see. Probably just a bit of a misjudgment, and caught each other through the apex. Simo under attack from Will here. These 2 don't want to fight against each other too much, end up fighting against each other too much, and they're going to get attacked from behind and afford Brett and Lango just to, again, make those first couple of positions their own. They need to not focus so much on each other and focus on the bigger picture in front of them, and maybe have a fight towards the end of this race. It looks like Will wants to get the move done.
Yeah, with Lancaster's also done quite well to get himself up to 6th. So, I mean, these front 3, Will, Lancaster, and Mohammed, they've done what they need to do, and they've started to make these moves.
Looks like is Will looking at it here. Oh, I meant to go forward. Still looking at it, but again, I feel like he's probably not making the right choice here. I feel like he kind of just needs to sit behind Simo, let Simo have the pace he's got, and push themselves up. And it looks like he's got the move done eventually. And he's got up there. I don't know if that would have been Simo purposely conceding that, or whether he just capitalised on a mistake there. But at least he's going to afford Will now to really push on to Brett. And I think we're looking like not unrealistic to expect Will to go on and win this race. What do you think, Al?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said at the beginning of the race, if he can get those moves done early, which he has.
Oh, Fraser done really well to recover his car there. Thought that was going to be pretty certainly a spin out.
But lost 1 place to Rabid, but I think considering it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely.
That was some great driving. But yeah, I mean, Will, within the first 5 laps, has moved himself up to striking position. So I'd say it's his to lose at the moment. It's a ballsy call, but I'd say it's his to lose.
No, one thing I know about you is you're very ballsy.
I do. I make predictions full of knowledge and expertise.
You have many balls. So it looks like we've got a little tight pack here, fighting out for third position. Simo with Arbie and
come back. So was Arbie.
Well, what happened to Will?
I have no idea. Oh, he heard me, didn't he?
Let's see if we can catch it. I don't know if I'm going to catch this, but maybe just looks like you got a really bad exit from that turn there, and as you can see, dropped back a few positions and had to concede a few. So yeah, just really poor exit from him. Sees him slip back and unfortunately lose all that really good progress he did. So tough race and really good opportunity now for Lango. Really, I see. Simo, he's actually under attack at the minute from Brett. So Brett, eating my words, I wanted to call him. I didn't think he was going to win this. Didn't think he'd have the stones to catch up to Lango, but he's really trying to push now. Don't think we can count out Simo either. Saw how well he did in that last race.
He's held off a lot of attack, and he's been persevering.
Speedbird just giving a shout out to ART Rabbit. Yeah, shout out to the Rabbit. I'm sure he appreciates the shout. I don't know where he is on this track. He's evading me. He's in 10th position at the moment, leading out a little pack with Digi and Fraser behind him. So in his own little race at the minute. But I'm really interested to see keep an eye on what's going on at the top here. Brett and Lango still scrapping it out at the top, but Lango ultimately holding out still, but really not much in it there. Simo still trying to grind back a little bit, got Willie knocked, and Will again gaining 2 positions. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Arbie's gone down to 7th and Lankster up in 5th, so bit of movement, bit of shaking around, a bit of fry and try.
I don't think that's fry and try. I think that's just a bit slippy slappy right there.
Slippy slappy, yeah, bit of slippy slappy.
There's one little error, and about 3 people have passed you. So it's an unforgiving race at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Not many rooms for mistakes. Rabbit's getting a little bit of lag by the looks of it. A little bit of wiggle biggle at the back there. Elsie and Tom having a bit of race for themselves at the back. Will looking like he's trying to get this move done on Simo again. Wants to get himself up in that 3rd place and really push for the win, as we've got about 5 laps left. Will getting really close there. Had to sit off a little bit, lost himself a little bit of time. Still trying to see what we can do to do this, but again I'd be trying to think I'm going to use Simo to try and catch up instead of giving these guys, again look at that gap between Brett and Simo building up again.
Yeah, these 2 at the front have done well, just to, race their own race really. Just keeping it real wild.
Lango will be a fantastic result for him here to get 2 wins. I don't think anyone would have called that at the start. Not in a rude way to him. I'm not saying he's slow. It's just in a certain race he's taken these situations as they unfold into his advantage and held on from a lot of pressure from Brett. You know,
they did well in the 2nd race to climb up about 4 positions to take the win, and then in this race, it's sometimes when you're up the front, you feel that pressure to push yourself harder, and that's when the mistakes can come. That's when someone just sits behind you and you make the wrong move. But he's so far 7 laps in, he's kept quite calm and confident up front.
It's got Leighton, Rabbit, and Fraser maybe doing a little corner cut there to get past. Probably going to see himself get a little track penalty, and that wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. But a nice little pack here, racing out for 11th. Fraser going on the inside. Rabbit trying to find just a place to sit on the track. Maybe he can take an opportunity if someone doesn't quite get it right here. So everyone got through quite nearly. Everyone's going to stay in their positions, but Fraser's not going to give up the ghost on that one. Lango and Brett still scrapping it out. Looks like Will's got that move done on Simo. Missed that one with Simo losing out a little bit now with Lancaster up on behind him. So good scrapping here, as we only got, like I said, about 5 laps left now. Really not long to go. Okay, we've got this really tight pack here as well, so you've got 2 real tight packs in the race at the minute, the fight for 11th and the fight for 3rd. Really are quite tight. 4th, apologies. I think Will's quite settled in 3rd, possibly going to look to try and push himself up. With 4 laps left, he's got enough in this race to...
He's slowly closing that gap, so if he
he's got the pace. He's just I think fastest lap there, 1:10.6. Oh, 1:10.4, sorry.
Yeah, start to close that gap and possibly start to push for 1st towards the end of the race. But he's doing well, and now he's kind of solidified himself in 3rd, which will help.
So Mohammed not able to really turn in the performance he maybe would have liked of himself. Our championship leader not able to progress too much in this race. interesting stuff
from him, who's normally very confident in the overtakes and takes his time.
So Willie looks like he's moving up on this pack now. Apologies to cut you off there, I just thought there was a movement up top. Will has got that move done on Brett by the looks of it, and definitely his race would have taken down. Can Lango hold on? I probably wouldn't have thought so. Now that Will's broken away from that backpack and he's going to be waiting for his first opportunity, which he knows he probably has the pace on most people here.
It's already opened up quite a nice little gap between Brett just after the overtake. So yeah, Will is definitely holding on to this pace, and I mean, he's flying through at the moment. So it's going to be an interesting battle up there with Lango. See if he can defend now. Yeah,
well, definitely needs to defend through this corner. Just keep his line. See if he can just keep his speed up. We've got a few people going side by side. Simo and Lancaster side by side going here with Mohammed in breathing distance, and Arbie just behind them. Oscar Zero, we haven't heard much from this race, but I think he's in his own little gap, and you can see those guys just behind it in their own little gaps now. Looks like that fight for 11th place that we were watching before has kind of resolved itself with Elite eating dirt, and Rabid going through up there for 11th place. Up the top, Will has actually lost out a little bit of room from Brett there, under attack a little bit. Now attacking Lango now, getting on that inside. Looks like this is going to be his move. Looks like he's got it done there. Well done from Will. Great respect from respect shown from both drivers there in terms of room. Lango will still be pleased with a second place finish if he can hold on to that second place.
I mean, he's not done yet. He's going to go back on the attack as soon as he can. But I think Will is now slowly pulling away.
Yeah, I think if I was Lango, my mindset would now be kind of ignore Will and focus on Brett. You know, you want to. Brett we've shown has been a thorn in Lango's side for the past 2 races now, and you don't want to start trying to push too hard on Will, who realistically you're not going to catch him, you're not going to get past him unless he does a huge one mistake, and anything you're going to do is slow yourself down and lose out to Brett. So keep your second place, keep your head on, keep your focus, and Lango should see this out as it's definitely opened up a little bit for that second place. Back here, looks like Lancaster's actually got up on Simo. Don't know if we actually quite saw that. He's actually up in that top 3 mix now, breathing down Brett's neck. So making his moves at the back end of this race. Only a lap and a half left to go, so really exciting stuff now.
Yeah, some great driving by Lancaster. I think he's flown under the radar a bit today, but yeah, he's done some very, very good driving. Yeah,
definitely. So Will come on now towards the last lap. Brett holding on to second place. Where has Lango gone? 8th. What happened to Lango?
Must have been a spin.
Yeah, must have been something. Let's see if I've got the replay in time. It'd be nice if we have, unfortunately. So he's up in second place here. Was he sent there? I think that he was sent there. It's a bit unfortunate.
Look at the wide angle.
Yeah, that was fortunately not one of those pretty ones, unfortunately. We'll see if we can. I'll see if I can get a wide angle on that, because I'm really keen on seeing that if I can. So Lango looks like he's got Brett and Lancaster up on that inside. Comes into the break, and it looks like it's Brett who sends him. Should have gave that position back. Should be sitting off for him. But we'll go. Yeah, it's enough. It's enough, man, and not nice to see that.
It's unfortunate. Lango's had a great race. And deserved, I think. Yeah. It's at least his podium, which it looked like it was. But
actually, has Brett dropped out of the race?
I think so. He's gone.
Yeah, looks like he's dropped out of the race. There might be bit
of Mohammed.
Will almost losing it there on the very last corner, but holding it together to now seal off his first place. Still close racing here with Lancaster coming through second, with Simo pinching third place at the end, and Mohammed 4th, Arbie 5th, and Oscar 0 6th, followed by Lango 7th. And Chubbs 8th, Brett 9th. And we've got Digi in 10th, Rabid come through now in 11th, followed by Elite, Fraser, Tom, and then finally LZ finds himself a little bit at the back here. Yeah, not sure what happened there with Brett. I think he knocked him off the track, and obviously I imagine there might have been a bit of a shouty argy-bargy in the party chat. And ultimately, Brett wasn't in the race anymore. So make of that what you will, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he could have dropped down, didn't he?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate to see that. It's what's going on? Track, really strange. So interesting races today, Al. What did you make of it?
This has probably been one of the most intense set of races we've been in. A lot of action, a lot of talking points.
Definitely.
Will coming through strong, but I think Arbie consistently hitting that kind of around that 5th place. So well done for Arbie.
Yeah, really fortunate to see what happened to Lango there. You know, he worked really, really hard for that 2nd place, and to see him.
It's very, very harsh. I mean, it happened a couple of times.
Yeah, see him take that hit, and I'm sure obviously Brett wouldn't have done that on purpose. It would have just been honest mistake, but it's unfortunate to see him. And since Lango worked so hard to get that 2nd place. So actually Brett didn't quit. Look, he finished in 9th. Apologies, he must have sat back for Lango and let him take that place back. So well done, Brett, for handing that position back. So really unfortunate to see, but some really, really great races overall outside of nothing really, because it was a good race. I'm not gonna let that one moment ruin what was otherwise some really, really, really good racing. But no, that is it for today's stream of round 5 of the Gr.4 Group's sprint series. We'll be back again next week for the final round, so it's a 6-round series. We're back next week for the final round, so really could be interesting to see what the standings are when we look at them when they get updated. So we'll bring them to you for the start stream next week and see where we are. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that other stuff people on YouTube ask you to do. And if you're interested in taking part in a race, there's plenty of leagues going on, up to 40 races a month in ART. Put the Discord link in the description below. A lot of the stuff is arranged through Discord and stuff, so join into the Discord and get yourself involved. Plenty of people across plenty of different skill ranges, so plenty of races to get involved with. So if you're interested, join in, take part. And Al, thanks for joining us today. Really helpful for you to pop in and give us your views and keep an eye on stuff for us.
Been a pleasure. Always happy to jump in and watch these great races.
Ooh, you sexy beast. Right, boys. Thanks everyone for watching. Congrats everyone for the races as well, and we'll catch you guys for the stream next week. Okay, cheers.